in third world countries how to build sand filters for families and groups. These are simple enough to build under third world conditions. Are there any good plans available for these?
It's good. Is this on?
Yeah, just go ahead and
Okay.
keep going.
It's a good question, and I've built a few BioSand filters. There's, YouTube again is a great resource. You can find 100 different ways to build a BioSand filter, and you can start with sand. My first level is gravel, some kind of pea gravel, and then sand, and then charcoal, and you can make your own charcoal. So what I use is 3 5-gallon buckets, pour your bad water in there, pond water, and what you want to do, your BioSand filter's got to develop a film in it, and that film, after a while, no bacteria can get down through that and they die. It's kind of like a BioSand filter is like a natural protection, but I just recommend Berkey ceramics and things like the ceramic filters, because they're pretty fail-safe. You know that those are 0.2 micron and nothing's going to get through there that's going to make you sick. So yes, you can build a BioSand filter if you want to for your rain catchment, your pond water, creek water, but that's go to YouTube, look up BioSand filters, and you'll find a lot of different designs. They do work.
Go ahead and ask it.
It's like a grenade. He's handing it off. Have any, Dr. Fortune left, but have any of you guys seen the video online of Russia has built these cargo container launch vehicles? And basically, it looks like a commercial for sale for these things. They show it on a truck stops, it just lifts up and launches 4 basically small ICBMs. They show it on a ship. They show it in all different configurations, and they're selling these things. They sold them at the Paris Air Show. Just a thought. Anybody can field it.
I want one. Can I sell those? Can I? No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea. We'll look it up.
It looks like a television commercial. It's a commercial to sell the damn things.
I can address it. It's 25-year-old technology or older, called a TEL. The Russians have been using them for a long time. Yeah, they are for sale. And yeah, a lot of them have been bought by a lot of other countries. Whether they've mounted it on a flamethrower that's sitting 100 miles off Norfolk, we don't know.
I don't know.
What's the legalities for the AK-47 and versus the AR-15? I remember you said it was a 30-shot round, but what's the most you could get for like an AK? And is there a difference between it used to be legal to buy and then they weren't legal to sell anymore, but you could have them? Like I've got a 30-shot for my Glock. I don't know if you can get them anymore at the clip. So,
what state are you in?
It's Florida, but also have a residence up here as well. So whichever state I got to buy it.
I don't think there are not any restrictions at this time. I know that if you have an AK-47 and if the parts, it has to have so many parts to be SR9 compliant, not SR9, SR 922R compliant, but most of them should be to fire the 30-round clip, and the Glock mags you can still get. In fact, I've got a company right now sending me a 90-round drum for an AR. It's really just as much as you can carry. I mean, now, of course, the original assault weapons ban was kind of to ban magazines that were 10 rounds and above, but whatever, shadowed out. It ended, and there was some talk about it, and some states now have it, but up north in New England areas, and I think Colorado just went to that. But you're good, especially in Florida and this whole southeast area. So
Thank you.
You'll be good.
So this is in kind of a carry-on about your pepper spray. This is for the ladies and even for the older children at home or even in your car. Carry wasp and hornet spray. They have to have medical attention. It's not something that they can wash out of their eyes at home. So then it gives you some kind of leeway, maybe being able to prosecute the criminal that is trying to harm you. And plus, it creates a distance of up to 20 feet.
It's pretty accurate, too.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that that wasp and hornet spray. Of course, I've not tried it. But definitely something that the kids can, and I think really it does. It's more effective. So.
All right, thanks.
Can we turn?
I'm sorry. Well, I think if you're just around the street, maybe you're carrying some, but maybe. Well, let's go back to I'd rather be tried by 12 than carried by 6. In a situation like that, now, but you know what, you bring up a valid point. Guys, when you're out and you're thinking about self-defense or you're in a situation, take the high road if you can. Don't do anything dumb, but...
It's on.
It's not on.
It's not on.
Pass the message.
Anytime that you're out and about, I used to be a cop for 12 years. Everything I carry that's important is right here. No, not really. But if a suspect wants this, give it to him and back up. Transfer the decision to use force to who? He can have it. I ain't got no money, all right? But think about it. No matter what you have, if you have a fear for your safety at that point in time, transfer the decision to use force to him. Every CWP course in America says what? Retreat and what? No other means necessary. Give him that. Give him your purse. Never carry your gun in your purse. Put it on the ground and walk away. Get to your firearm and issue loud verbal commands. Get on the ground. Get on the ground now. See what happens. If he takes a step towards you, shoot him. If they're in your house, they're in your yard, and you tell them to do what? Get out, and they fail to? What do we have? Failure to retreat. This is my property. The castle doctrine's alive and well in South Carolina. I don't know about North Carolina. Okay, it is. All right, at that point in time, they're going to sue you. No, they're not. They're going to be dead. The people going to sue you is their daddy and their mommy, knowing, well, my little Jeremy, he was retarded. You didn't know that before you shot his ass? No, I didn't.
This question's for Don. Just curious where we can purchase, or if we can even purchase, a Team Such T-shirt.
Let's see, which one? Okay, I'll hold both. He was asking where you could buy a Team Such T-shirt. $17.91 apparel. The guy Tyler, he handles all that for me. He just volunteered to do it, and that way he knows I'm terrible about shipping stuff. But it's $17.91 apparel. Now, I'll tell you the thing. For one thing, is not only does he have these really awesome Team Such T-shirts, but he has a lot of really great other T-shirts that are gun related. A lot of cool stuff. So, but yeah, $17.91 apparel. Thank you.
Yeah, he's probably got stuff way cooler than Such T-shirts. I'm just saying.
That's good. And then I had a question from Mike real quick. I have a Glock 17 that I'd like to add a light to, but I would like to have a Black Hawk outside.
Is it generation 1 or 2?
It's generation 2.
Okay, as long as it has a rail on the bottom of it, you can add to it.
But my question is, I have a Black Hawk holster that I like now, but I'd like to add a light to it.
Right.
I noticed you had a OD green. Can you?
Yeah, I got a Kydex holster.
Kydex, all right.
Yeah, we make them at the shop.
That's all I need to know.
Okay.
Thanks.
So this question is in reference to sort of alternative defense options, alternative to, having a handgun, given that it's not always a situation where, a handgun is necessary or relevant. I know one of the options that you mentioned in the last presentation was a baton. Is anyone familiar with the legality of concealed carry of batons in North and South Carolina?
You can have an ass baton wherever you go.
Okay.
You can carry
Does it need to be open?
Huh?
Does it need to be open carry? Or can it be concealed?
It can be. But what is this? It's a knife.
Yeah.
It's a tool, exactly. It's a tool, but a knife. There's 6 angles of attack, okay? 2 primary grips. You can carry a knife where? Every place you go. inside Applebee's, inside most of the places that sell alcohol. And what is this used for? To create what? Distance. I mean, think about it. A slash, which starts right here, immobilizes the shoulder, the pectoral muscle, and comes down. They can't use this arm. This knife right here will save your life more than a baton. I've hit a crackhead with a baton 9 times. I sprayed a crackhead once, didn't do anything. I tased one. He actually walked 40 feet and threw a vial of crack into a creek while being tased. Okay? Think about it. The person who's going to attack you is who? He hasn't eaten in days, lives underneath a bridge, okay? He needs a fix. Your opportunity. He sees you walking to Ingalls by yourself, he just targeted you. On the way out, what's he going to do? He's going to approach you. He lays a $20 bill near your car. Who is not going to reach down and grab a $20 bill? Everybody's going to, correct? He just did what? Created a distraction. Now he's up on top of you. Hey, give me your purse. Do it now. But a knife, think about it. I got cut in my ear. I was 15, fighting with a bunch of guys. I grew up in the streets of Cincinnati, Ohio. This guy cut my ear with a box cutter. It burned like hell. I got shot. I never realized I got shot by an AK-47. It cauterizes the wound, unlike the M16. So anyway, I listen to Suits too. Think about it. This knife right here, I'd rather have a knife than an aspartame. Make sense?
Yeah. Thank you.
So, sorry for the wait, but I hate waiting in line. I'd like to have maybe one or two opinions about the Ruger 1022. I'm considering that as a kind of a backup weapon, not necessarily have other weapons, but I'm really interested in the use that you might recommend for it.
Give it to him. He's been shot by one.
Actually, I got grazed. I was moving from position to position. It spun me around, knocked me on the ground. I got up and ran. I didn't even realize I got shot till after the fact. 1022, sir, is great for target practice. I did 2 death investigations in Greenville County, lower part of the state. A Walther P22 was used. A guy had, in fact, Suits knows something a little about this. Meth head had a syringe in his back pocket. It was in this guy's front yard with 2 rocks. He was telling the guy, I'm going to kill you. The guy had his cell phone right here talking to 911 and a Walther P22. He shot the guy, hit him twice here. The guy turned. Oh shit, I'm getting shot. Sorry. Got him 9 more times right here. Killed him with a Walther P22. So a Ruger 1022, a rifle, kind of hard to carry, but an M&P 22 or the SIG's Mosquito, those are pretty good too.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Any other opinions?
Well, the Ruger 1022 is the most popular 22 in America, and there's a bazillion different accessories and anything you can think of.
Yes.
So you've got target, you've got a self-defense option, and it even has a little more velocity than a pistol. So you know, there's just a lot of different things you can do with it. So and hunting, if you small game and being able to hunt with it, and for people that are recoil sensitive, I think that having a 22 rifle like that, I've had one for 20 years, and I wouldn't sell it for nothing. So I highly recommend a Ruger 1022.
All right, thank you. I was just interested in that particular caliber. Others, I understand. Thank you.
Hey guys, glad to see all of y'all together today. So follow some of you on YouTube. I live in the Greenville area now, and I'm originally from Central Alabama. I know that our society's changed a lot. I grew up, I had tons and tons of acreage I could go shoot on. That's the way we learned as kids. Since our society's changed so much, what do you guys recommend for getting young shooters involved that may not have the acreage? I know I've asked some of the gun ranges around Greenville if they did youth classes. Very few of them do. So what do you guys recommend for that?
Well, I'm going to pass this on down to Mike because I'm going to let him finish, but I will add a little bit. Go to, well, as far as teaching kids how to shoot, is that the big thing?
Right, where to, since we don't all have 30 acres to go to.
Well, in Pickens County, and for those, I know that you'll have to find the local range for you, but down in the Greenville area in Pickens County, they have a public range that's free with a rifle and handgun. It is, it's just during the day. If you work, Saturdays are very busy. But now especially with sharpshooters and other ranges, there's a host now of different options. And one of the things, though, I think I really like about sharpshooters is that they're doing a lot of hands-on. In fact, Mike's the range guy down there. So, and with kids, he'll probably keep his language good. So,
you need to move out of Greenville. There's some bad people live in Greenville.
There are. So do you guys do youth programs at your range?
Yes, we do. We do one-on-one with children. We start off with rifle. We don't shoot any type of people-type targets, all-around type targets. We start off at 12 yards and move back all the way to 25. Okay. And we start with the Ruger 1022 and the Marlin 22. From there, we can graduate to the pistol if the mother and father want us to.
What age groups?
7 and below cannot enter the range due to health because of lead. There you go.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a blockhead. And other than that, 8 to about 17.
Can we schedule to see you get shot? Because you obviously are a pro at it.
No, we do one-on-one training.
No, I mean schedule to see you get shot since you're obviously a pro at
it. Now, did I tell you I was a deputy sheriff in Greenville County? Did I also tell you that I still got ties in Greenville County?
I think we met.
And what was your first name, your last name, your date of birth?
Thank you all so much. Did you have something to add, engineer? No. Okay. Thank you all for that.
Thank you.
I just heard today that the last smelter in Herculaneum, Missouri is closing. Can you guys comment on that?
I was looking into that yesterday, and I actually found a press release from the president of Speer, who makes more than half of the bullets in the country, and they said that they don't expect any effect because all of their bullets are made from recycled lead, and this smelter only did primary ore that was actually dug up. So they said that they don't expect any issues. Almost all their bullets are from recycled car batteries. They said now the battery manufacturers may have issues if they're using virgin lead.
The main part of the thing is that the EPA regulation that shut down the Herculaneum, I think it's Herculaneum factory in St. Louis, Missouri, Spears, Winchester, I think Remington, each smelt and make their own lead bullets, their own bullets. And the point is they have to abide by the same EPA regulations that the one in Kansas City did, or St. Louis did. So it's going to cost them the $110 million to bring their operation up to EPA specs, which means they're going to have to pass the savings on to the customer, which means that even though they're making it from recycled lead, old car batteries and whatnot, they still have to meet the EPA standards, which will increase the cost of producing lead.
Back again. First of all, I want to thank all of y'all for coming here. It really means a lot to a lot of us. Just want to thank you. Second thing is being a Christian and having to make a decision when whatever happens. If it does happen, and we all pray that it doesn't, where do you draw the line between feeding your neighbor, which I think is something we should all do as a Christian, and keeping your child from starving or yourself from starving? How do you there needs to be a balance, and I think it's going to be really hard for me as a Christian that loves my neighbor, for me not to want to feed my neighbor or help protect my neighbor when I know if I do that it's going to affect my family.
It's an excellent question. I get it all the time. First thing I do is be willing to stick your neck out and go tell your neighbor that he needs to prepare. This is, you talk about there's hypothetical situations, but if you do not want to have to be put in a situation where you're shooting your neighbor. So I've told all my neighbors on my road, I do not want to shoot you. No, I didn't say it that way. But I did, you know, you need to be prepping. This is what the crazy guy across the road is doing over here. Just, you know what I'm doing. You can go watch what I'm doing on YouTube. You need to prepare as well to a certain level. Be willing to help you with anything. When it comes to charity, charity needs to be done away from your location as far as possible. If you're charitable now, you most likely will be charitable then. If you're not now, forget it. It's not going to happen in a crisis situation, I don't think, in human nature. So, you know, we have care packages, water, food. If there are people that you cannot take in and they need to go, you're not going to take the food. I'm not going to take the food out of my son's mouth and put it in yours. But I am going to provide you, go down to the church parking lot behind the oak tree, behind the transformer, whatever. There's going to be food and water, and then you need to go. Otherwise, they're going to pull on the heartstrings. They're going to case your area, and they're going to send the little girl up there, and everybody's, oh, we got to feed her, we got to feed her. And there's 60 guys waiting from wherever, from the prison, coming to your place. So charity is very important. You know, it's a hypothetical situation. What can we do now? You tell your neighbors they need to prepare. It's like sharing the gospel. Do you share the gospel now? Do you tell people they need to be saved? And it's the same thing with prepping. It's identical. To me, there's no difference. There's spiritual preparation, physical preparation. They need to be told, and you get the same reaction, don't you, if you share the gospel and they're like, "Oh, get out of here!" But you still did what you were called to do. You still need water. You still need food. You still need security. And you need to do that. I could go on a long time about that. I'm going to shut up now. But I get the question a lot, and I'm not saying I have all the answers to it, but it's something that, you know, your neighbors in a difficult situation you want them to be your allies. They also end up being LPOPs for your group. You want to get them on board. The farther out that you can help each other that way, just with eyes and ears, and being able to keep people at a distance. Working together to cut off that road, that whole area. That's what I've done in my neighborhood. It's hard to get other people to come to your location. They want to join they want to be part of the group for whatever reason. But I have found that get your neighbors on board. That's your best bet, because you don't know if that person can't make it to your location. They just compromised your security. You were counting on that guy or that group to be security, and you don't have it if you don't have 24-hour security. So just work on your neighbors. We've bought radios, at least communication-wise, and give them to them. Just give your neighbor some of the radios that you think are in your group. You know, maybe you're the water guy and you can supply everybody with fresh, potable water. You need to recruit. So, sorry about that. I thought I was going to start preaching.
And one more thing, don't overlook charity. I mean, just like he was saying, because you want to win hearts and minds. We can't shoot everyone. But at the same point, don't underestimate the power of stupid people in large numbers.
This is for the medical guys. When I was in Boy Scouts, I heard it 1,000 times, safety first. What I didn't hear in either of your presentations was preventing things. Seems like we need a mindset change. The guy in 1 second after cuts his hand, we wouldn't think about it twice now, but it almost kills him in that scenario. So your comments.
As far as preventive, I mean, we're all eating McDonald's cheeseburgers and French fries, so we're all a walking time bomb as far as heart conditions and all that. I exercise. I mean, I run. I mean, I'm skinny. I can run. I'm going to run from that guy down there. But, you know, and that's what I was talking about, the sterile bandaging and, you know, having antibiotic ointment, having the alcohol pads, having the alcohol preps is keeping this clean. You can get the bleeding stopped now, and that can stop the life-threatening injury from there. But then 3 weeks from now, when it's red, has infection kept building up in it, you're running a fever, it's too late. You're in trouble by then. So that's keeping the wound clean, keeping it irrigated, keeping it flushed out, and keeping the bad stuff out of it. Does that answer your question?
Not really. I'm looking for a mindset that keeps us from getting hurt.
You know, I had a good friend of mine that was cutting wood, and the axe slipped and it went into his leg. And I think that sometimes when you're over careful, and I've seen this happen at shooting ranges before, where people are just almost paranoidly over careful and end up hurting themselves. I think beside the fact that, like gun safety is a good one, is being extremely careful with gun safety and being responsible for the things you have and being well thought out. But, there's no way to really prevent except to be in good shape and to get yourself in good shape, to eat the right foods. One of the things about, prepping, and one of the things I tell everybody that I'm not a super prepper. I'm just trying to be more self-reliant. So I want to grow my own food because I don't want to eat their food and I don't want to pay them. And if I can cut down on my electricity bill, I don't have to pay Duke Power or whoever, or if I can, my water bill, so I guess being more self-reliant, being more healthy, living more healthy, I think is the best way to prepare, and letting stress. And one thing that I know is that when I'm worried about, if I see events going on around me, one of the big stress relievers is to know that I have prepared, that I am preparing. And I think stress is probably the biggest killer of us all. So,
stock plenty of Prilosec or Rolaids, Monostat 7. You get any man or woman in here to cut your wood for you. 2 months after the grid down.
What did he say? There's going to be a lot more injuries and a lot more trauma. I mean, it's just people are going to be doing things that they're not used to doing, and so they're going to be hurt. So we're going to need good medical people on our teams. But I meet a lot of my customers have just never done these things. They want to be self-reliant. They want to get off the grid. They've never been on a tractor before. They roll it down the hill. I mean, they're dangerous because they've never had to be the fire department, the EMT, the water plant, the power plant, and they're experimenting with batteries for the first time. I see a lot of injuries just because people just don't know what they're doing. And I just think in a stressful situation, you're going to see a lot more. So prevention's good, but you're not going to prevent it. There's going to be more.
Jennifer, pay attention. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Let me set the stage here. I've been storing food since the Cuban crisis. Do you remember that?
The which?
The Cuban crisis.
Ah, I could probably learn some stuff from you.
Yeah, you had to have been about that high. Anyhow, I think some of that food's probably not any good anymore. And so I'm wondering if you could identify 3 of the nutritious foods that would last the longest in storage.
Well, like I spoke about with the Egyptian tombs, you've got the wheat berries.
Okay.
You've got,
you did good with that. I remembered it.
Make sure you got your grinder.
Yes.
You got your honey.
I'm sorry.
Honey.
Okay, honey. Actually, I didn't mean that, but it worked pretty well, didn't it?
Good setup. Yeah, Twinkies, like Richard said. You gotta, yeah. Yeah, but honey, keep in mind, is nutritional and it's also medicinal.
Okay.
And your rice and beans is a magical, not for musical, magical combination, because they've noticed in third world countries that has the magical connection to keep the DNA going.
You started to say musical.
Yes.
All right, I have a short
So
memory.
I would say wheat berries, rice, beans, and honey.
Good. That helps my short memory. Thank you.
You're welcome. One thing I wanted to mention after I finished my presentation this morning, I had an elder come visit me from the LDS in Knoxville, and he wanted me to pass along the fact that they will be phasing out all bulk on the East Coast in their pantries no later than June of 2013. It's still currently, yeah, thank you, sorry, 14. June of 2014. And so they are still doing bulk, but it is time to get over there. It's time to get over there now. I think I got a lot of email addresses. I'll be sending the presentation. I'll be sending this email or this information along as well. And if you didn't get on here, you can contact me at thrivewnc, like we're not crazy, at gmail.com. And anyways, again, that'll be the bulk at the LDS canneries. Will not be available anymore. All you can do is buy the number 10 can.